Hello, I'm Wei Ru, and I'm a master's student from National Taiwan University. I'm going to present our work, Rhapso, automatically embedding fiber materials into 3D prints for enhanced interactivities. Okay, and then let's start with a demo video. Rhapso is a system for automatically embedding fiber materials into objects during the printing process. And this example embeds elastic fibers to create a pop-up structure. So why are we doing this? The functionality of 3D printed objects is limited by the properties of printing materials. So recent research have geared toward to print functional objects by adjusting microstructure like metamaterials. But not all materials can be printable and functional at the same time. So some research have looked into integrating non-printable materials. For example, in Medley, they embed everyday objects into 3D prints to enhance object capability. And in Scrappy, they insert scrap objects into 3D prints to replace infill materials to print faster. And Stilner et al. Have proposed a method using fibers as joint actuators. So from this paper, we know that there are potentials to embed fibers into 3D prints. And there are more works using fibers together with 3D prints. As in clothes tiles, they use SMA fibers to change shape. And in Astra, they use pneumatic artificial muscle to vary stiffness. And Jane in 2020 used conductive yarns to transmit sensing signal. So fibers can do lots of things, such as they could be stretchy, conductive, and etc. However, existing approaches require tedious manual work to embed fibers, which cause many waiting time in a complex object. But in Rhapso, our system could print with fiber fully automatic. And secondly, they are based on non-standard printer. Though Rhapso used minimal modification to a common low-cost 3D printer, and we open source to make it easily accessible. And finally, they handle only a single type of fiber materials. However, we can use multiple types of materials. And why is this problem challenging? So most fibers don't act like printer filaments. They can be extruded through a nozzle, and they don't melt, stick to other fiber, nor quickly solidify. Therefore, we define 3 basic operations for working with fiber to overcome this challenge. Here's an example. We want to make the object with the bead that can slice, like this. And to print this, first we have to place the fiber across the object in the right place at the right time during the printing process. And then we have to print on the top of the fiber to capture it so it can't move. But we also want to let the bead slice, so we have to avoid printing over the fiber here. And how do we accomplish these basic operations? Here's the hardware system. We attached a turntable with its outer ring on the x-axis of the printer. And the inner ring is a 3D printing ring, a ring gear that is driven by a motor to rotate. And the fiber on one end is anchored on the edge of the printing bed, and the other hand is fed from the fiber carrier mounted on the inner ring. And let's use a video to show how the hardware works for a basic operation. As the video shows here, we rotate the ring to position the fiber at the right location and print over to fix the fiber. And let's have a closer look from the side view. And not only the hardware, the core of Rhapso system is its software. Here I'm going to talk about the complete software workflow. First, user make a design in Autodesk Fusion. And the blue line here shows the path of the fiber through the model. And the red dots are anchor points, where the threads change its direction. Next, the user export them separately into G-code and the path file. And our software import these two files and then modify the G-code layers by layer to incorporate and position the fiber based on the design path. And to be more specifically, the result of the G-code files that contain reordered printing commands, along with the commands to rotate the ring at the moment. And these commands then form the basic operations: position, print over, and avoid. There are more details about the algorithm of our system in our paper, include how to align anchors with the layers, how to handle the thread threading through multiple layers, and the most important point is that how to reorder the original printing commands and insert the rotate command. And now we have the whole workflow. Let me show what we can do with it. The fibers can perform mechanical functionality. In these two examples, we use fibers to constrain the 3D printing, making the parts sliding on the string. And besides constraining the parts, we use elastic fiber to provide tension. In these examples, the tension of the fiber makes the box self-assemble and make the structure pop up. Remember that these examples are all printed automatically without any human intervention. And moreover, fibers could perform multiple functionality on an object. Take the robot finger as an example. We could pull to drive the finger, and the tension elastic fiber make the finger rebound. Another example is the extending grabber. So we wind the fiber around the sacrifice pieces to make an extra long fiber, so as to make grabber larger than the printing bed through the post-processing assembly. And fibers could present aesthetic and texture properties. Here's an example of hair-like texture printed with cotton fiber. Okay, and to sum up with our contributions, we make 4 major contributions. First, we create a design space of fiber and 3D printing. And secondly, we develop algorithm to embed fibers in user-specified path through a 3D printed object. And thirdly, we open source hardware and software enabling automatic fiber embedding on common low-cost 3D printers. And finally, we provide examples applications demonstrating the interaction potential of combining fibers with 3D printing. And this is the end of my talk. If you are interested in our project, here's the code for our GitHub link. And on that note, thanks to my amazing collaborators, Dan, Nick, Diana, Zeyu, Valkyrie, Longpan, Huaishu, and Hyungyong. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Hi, Cedric Conant from MIT. Congrats on open sourcing your work. There should be an award for that. I was curious about this software that you're proposing, if you tried it with the Markforged. I see that you cite it in your paper, but it looks like they can integrate carbon fiber and other kinds of fibers. Have you tried your approach with existing machines? Would that be feasible, usable?
Do you mean the
Markforged printer that has carbon fiber options?
Actually, we didn't. We did discuss about that, but what we want to do is that to make like more.
We can talk after if you want.
Yes, that's okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Any other question? Any other questions? Sorry. There are different. Okay. Go ahead.
Maybe a quick one. Leah Beakley from the University of New Mexico. Could you just say a little bit about the firmware? So the software you talked about the software and the machine, but not how they're kind of put together.
Yeah. Actually, we modify because we add additional motors to drive. So we modify we change the control board to another one. So so that we upload the different software, like Marlin firmware, to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you have time for one quick.
Hi, Jesse from Carnegie Mellon. Really cool project. So I just wanted a quick question. It looks like a lot of the fibers that you print right now, the way that it's currently set up is set up to kind of print in plane, and you do some cool three-dimensional objects like where the box that kind of folds up. I'm curious, have you thought about how you might extend this to kind of embed fibers in truly like three-dimensional objects? Like what modifications would you need to make to your setup to make that possible?
Okay. Yes, actually, we've thought about many like different, more complex objects that we can make, but there's a limitation for our system that we can, because we are printing like going up, so we can go the path of the fiber just can go up. It can without any going down. So that's the thing that most of the object we made is slightly just more simple.
Thank you.
Thanks.